How about those freaking Chiefs, baby?
How about those Chiefs?
Let's go. This is post-game reaction, hangout, all that good freaking stuff immediately following Chiefs versus Cardinals. And the Cardinals got their freaking wings clipped. They can no longer fly. Poor little buddies. Let's go over injury report, keynotes, some interesting facts. Let's talk injuries first. Early in the game, Mahomes banged up his left hand on the first TD that he scored. It got taped up. I believe later in the game, they taped it up a little bit less. I even saw in the game that he handed the ball off like awkwardly with his right hand. Like you should be, the way he was turned, you should hand it off with your left, but he handed it off inverted with his right. Obviously, it's his non-throwing hand, so he should be fine. I believe they're going to x-ray him after the game. Harrison Butker was shaken up after the first kickoff. He rolled his ankle, limped off the field. He got carted off shortly after. He did return near the end of the second half and made a 54-yard field goal by taking like a step and a half. He has stones of absolute granite for that one. But in his stead, thank God we have Justin Reed because he made one PAT, missed one, and then he kicked the rest of the game. He did the kickoffs, multiple touchbacks. Thank God we have Justin Reed. Thank God for that man. Trey Smith left the game questionable with an ankle injury, subbed in by Nick Allegretti, the team's Swiss Army knife in the second quarter. I don't like that, but from what I understand, he did solid. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe Trey Smith returned. Duffy got carted off to the locker room. I don't think it happened during a play. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it happened during a play, but he was carted off to the locker room. From what I understand, it was due to a hamstring issue of sorts. Matt Derrick reported on Twitter, Chiefs cornerback Trent McDuffie out with a hamstring injury. Look more for Jalen Watson filling in for him in the third quarter and the rest of the way. It was interesting to me that they didn't use Joshua Williams. Instead, they opted for Jalen Watson. I don't know if it's just because the type of corner that McDuffie is or what he was playing. I don't know why, to be honest, but it was interesting that Jalen Watson got the nod over Joshua Williams. And then Willie Gay was shaken up in the fourth quarter, had to leave for a play, but came back in. I think he's fine. As far as key notes, CEH looked freaking great in the first half when he was playing. I mean, he looked great on and off throughout, but he had a great first drive, multiple nice runs, including a 15-yarder around the edge. Hello, CEH going around the edge? Okay, I like that. It's kind of rare, but I do like it. Juju had a key third down conversion after McCole missed a big catch on the first drive. And my question is, McCole Hardman, this is your contract year, so why no dive? Extend thy hands, leapeth through the air, and make thy catch. I don't know. I'm just a man who lives in my basement for a living. Not really sure. Now, Kelsey had the first TD of the game, huge play with a great release and catch. Kelsey had several key blocks in the first couple of possessions as well, allowing for some nice runs or quick passes, including CEH having a big gain on a dump-off pass for 20-plus yards and a delayed shovel pass at the goal line for a TD on the same drive and another TD catch the next freaking drive. So let's freaking go. Juju had 5 catches in the first 3 drives. Mahomes had 12 consecutive completed passes, targeted 7 different receivers in the first half. Juju and Kelsey both had 5+ receptions in this game. I will note this later. No, I'll note it now. Juju had a bit of a quiet second half rather. He also had a critical fumble near the end of the second half, a couple dropped passes after that as well. I'm glad he dropped the pass at the end of the first half because he would have been inbounds. They would have had no timeouts. And Harrison Butker would have not been able to kick that 54-yard field goal on basically 1 foot. Now, the last play of the first half, guys, I noticed this as well. Orlando Brown Jr. got absolutely scorched on a spin move, and Mahomes almost got obliterated. I mean, he did get nailed. Let's just be honest. So this is multiple games, including preseason. I've seen Orlando Brown Jr. get scorched like an egg on a 155-degree sidewalk. I don't like to see that from our left tackle. Second half, Carlos Dunlap had a big sack on a 3rd and 10. The Chiefs opened the second half with a huge play action pass to Kelsey for 35 freaking yards. Get used to that. Sky Moore had a huge 20-yard catch and run from Mahomes via a scramble to the left sidearm. You know how he does it. Jody Fortson came down with an incredible TD grab. Mahomes' 4th TD of the day by that point. He took a huge hit on that play as well. Actually, a big hit on that play, but seemed unbothered and actually got up, letting everybody know that was his 4th TD of the day. And basically, yeah, letting them know in a very polite way what he thought of that hit. 4 TDs. So eat it, you little bird. Now, after that, beginning of the second quarter, the Cardinals, they did put together a solid drive. Murray completed roughly 8 of 10 passes. A key 4th and goal conversion for a TD. Jalen Watson was in coverage. Thought that was noteworthy. After that, the Chiefs followed up and drove all the way down the field with multiple nice runs by who? Isaiah freaking Pacheco. Who? Number 10. Who? Not Tyreek Hill. Isaiah freaking Pacheco. He looked really good. After these multiple nice runs by Pacheco, McKinnon had a very nice delayed pass dumped off to him by Mahomes. I believe Mahomes audibled at the line. So he saw just whatever coverage Mahomes saw, he audibled. McKinnon peels off. And that was I don't even know. I don't think I noted how big of a pass that was. It was 20 yards, something crazy like that. And then Pacheco drove through the middle at the goal line for a touchdown. And this man was more amped up than a squirrel on 17 Red Bulls when he scored. And I was pretty freaking happy for him, not gonna lie. Some interesting facts of this game. Chiefs had 9 opening drive scores last season, and then they did it again this year. Most TD by QB receiver combo the last 4 seasons. I think in first was Rodgers and Devontae Adams at like 51, but then it was Mahomes and Hill with 46 and Mahomes and Kelsey with 46. Mahomes is the first QB all time with 3+ TD passes in 5 straight season opening games. You gotta like that one. 14th time in Mahomes' career, he has thrown for 4+ TDs. This was Travis Kelce's 37th game, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying for a second. Travis Kelce's 37th game with 100+ yards receiving, and he now has a reception, listening, in 127 consecutive regular season games. Mahomes completed passes to at least 9 different receivers, and there were 7 Kansas City pass breakups by the defense by the 12-minute mark of the 4th quarter. There might have been more near the end of the quarter. The Chiefs had 26 snaps of 2 tight ends or more. Last year, they were almost 70% with 1 tight end. And today, y'all, they were under 50% with 1 tight end and are showing multiple tight end looks multiple times. How the freak do you defend that? I don't know, because 2 of your tight ends are Travis Kelce and Jody Fortson, who can basically be receivers. So good freaking luck with that, whoever we play. This fly is going to drive me absolutely nuts. I do apologize. But there's kind of the recap of the game, some interesting facts. I thought CEH played a great game. I thought Mahomes went scorched earth, had 5. Did he have 5 or 6 TDs? He had 5 because Pacheco ran one in. Patrick Mahomes was 30 for 39, 360 yards and 5 TDs. A quarterback rating of 190,000. Just kidding. 144.2. He averaged 9.2 yards per play. Isaiah Pacheco had 12 carries for 62 yards and a TD with a long rush of 22. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 7 carries for 42 yards. You can see all these averages. They're looking nice. 5.2 from Pacheco, 6 for CEH. Jerick McKinnon, 5.5. And then, yeah, Jerick McKinnon had a crazy 18-yard run. They all had runs that were over 15 yards, so you got to love to see that. If we're looking at receiving leaders here, see if I can go even bigger. Travis Kelce had 8 receptions for 121 yards. Okay, Juju Smith-Schuster, 6 for 79. Now, costly fumble. It is what it is. Get that out of your system now. It's fine. MVS, 4 receptions for 44 yards. CEH had a few catches. Sky Moore had one that was incredible for 30 yards. Jerick McKinnon had a few. McCole Hardman had a few and also had a few misses. Him and Mahomes missed on a few big connects. It is what it is. Now, fumbles. Juju Smith-Schuster fumbled twice. Lost one. Mahomes fumbled. I blame that on his hand. If we look at the defensive side of the ball, Nick Bolton, go figure, 10 total tackles. Love that. L'Jarius Sneed with 8. Fenton, 5. Then Dunlap. Justin Reed, freaking MVP. I also want to say that Thornhill, he had a crazy pass breakup late in that game, or in the second half, I believe, at some point in time. I was liking what I was seeing from Chris Jones. Guys, Chris Jones is a freaking animal, y'all. He is an absolute animal. I love Chris Jones so much. Dunlap did have a sack. Karlaftis had a pass batted down at the line. So did Jones. So overall, guys, I'm very freaking happy. Now, I will say this, guys. Don't get too excited about this game, okay? We did clip their little wings off, but they were an injured team that did not make a lot of upgrades on the defense already, and J.J. Watt was out. They were thin at the cornerback position, and I think 2 corners were injured. Their wide receiver room is a mess. I believe a receiver was injured. Another one, their draft pick from last year, Rondale, he was out. And then D-Hop is suspended, okay? So this is a great confidence-boosting game, okay? That's what I take it as. The Chiefs need it. They're going to roll into next season, or next week. A very short week, by the way, against the Chargers on Thursday Night Football, so let's freaking go. I'm going to be clinching all night long during that game, but it's a good confidence booster, good momentum, leading up into that game. Now, I hope these injuries are all minor, guys. These are some key injuries. Mahomes with that left hand. Harrison Butker, that's a big one. If Harrison is not better, they're going to possibly have to sign another kicker. I don't know what they're going to do about that. Then McDuffie getting carted off. That's cornerback 2. Yeah. So Jalen Watson looked decent out there. I'm going to review the tape. And just so you guys know, I'm going to watch this game back 5 to 7 more times. I'm going to try to get the coach's film if I can. And we will do much more in-depth breakdowns. That's what we do around here.
How about those Chiefs?